We're recapping the 5 hottest stories of the week. We hit Amazon, the record rally, and the betting boom. Time to reveal our number 4 story. It is the crypto craze. We call it a craze because we had some crazy numbers this week out of the crypto space. Let's get to Kate Rooney, who follows this closely for us with more. Kate.
Rick, what is the appeal here of not only making an investment in Bitcoin, but also offering to be paid rent from commercial and residential tenants in Bitcoin?
Talk more about the Coinbase direct listing and the impact it could have on cryptocurrencies. Pleased to say that we're joined now by Melton Demirs.
And Bob Pisani here. S&P has just turned positive. Welcome to the ETF portion of Halftime Report. The pending Coinbase direct listing this Wednesday is exciting an unusually broad base of investors outside of the crypto community, particularly the ETF community.
Hey, Leslie, happy Friday. We did have some crazy numbers in crypto this week. Let's start with this one. $2 trillion. That's the new high for the entire cryptocurrency market cap hit this week. And it wasn't really led by Bitcoin. The record was thanks mostly to a rise in alternative digital assets known as altcoins. One of those, XRP, is up 75% in the past week.
Well, hello, Tyler. And Tyler, listen, this is a really exciting announcement that we're making. First of all, we believe that cryptocurrency is here to stay. We believe that Bitcoin is a right investment for us. It's part of our treasury management. And so we've allocated a percentage of what would normally go into the capital markets into Bitcoin. And we use Gemini as our platform in order to be able to execute that.
You figured you on Reddit, you heard about Bitcoin in 2012.
To explain why, let's talk with Matt Hogan. He's the Chief Investment Officer of Bitwise Asset Management, which pioneered the first cryptocurrency index fund, and Christian Magoon, who runs the Amplify Transformation Data Sharing ETF. That's BLOK. That's an actively managed portfolio focusing on blockchain technology. Matt, you have said Coinbase is the asset that the crypto community has been waiting for. It's the giant asset that is going to dramatically broaden the base of crypto assets, crypto investors, crypto ETFs. Why is this so special?
Another big crypto headline came out of Robinhood. In March alone, the startup says it saw 3.5 million clients trade crypto for the first time. Robinhood has seen about 3 million new cryptocurrency traders per month to start this year. For comparison, the monthly averages last year were around the low 100,000s. It now has 9.5 million people trading Bitcoin, Ethereum, and even Dogecoin in some cases. That's up 6-fold from the end of last year.
What's equally exciting is that there's applications that Gemini are doing, the Winklevosses are doing, that will literally be a game changer in the retail experience for consumers. And I have always benefited from partnering with the most innovative, the most thought-forward people. And Cameron and Tyler are ahead of the curve on this. So our consumers are going to benefit mightily from this. And let me just say one more thing. When this pandemic is over, and it will be over, consumers are going to want to re-engage. People are going to want to be back out. They're going to want a sense of community, and they're going to want to be enrichment in their lives. But some behaviors are going to change. And the companies that win their loyalty are going to be the companies that anticipate those changes and meet the consumer where they are. And that's what Gemini is helping us do. And we're very excited about it.
What were you at Sloan? Were you business or engineering or what? Does Sloan have engineering or just?
No, there's actually a sign on campus that says, it points to the rest of campus. It says engineering and math. And then it has a direction pointing towards the Sloan School, and it says real people here. So I studied at the intersection of math, which is my background, and business, and it was a great experience.
It's so special, Bob, because for the last 5 years, traditional investors have been sort of closing their eyes and holding their breath and pretending that the crypto industry doesn't exist. It's largely succeeded because even though Bitcoin has been the best performing asset in the world in the past 1, 3, 5, and 10 years, it's taken place behind a sort of crypto wall. What Coinbase is going to do is tear down that wall, and investors are going to have to reckon with a crypto exchange that's larger by market capitalization than NASDAQ, that's larger by market capitalization than the New York Stock Exchange, they're going to have to reckon with a crypto industry that's much bigger, more developed, and more institutional than they thought. And that's going to be good for crypto stocks, and it's also going to be good for direct holdings of crypto assets.
This could be welcome news for Robinhood ahead of its IPO in coming months. Crypto trading has proven to be profitable for other companies like Coinbase. That cryptocurrency trading platform is set to go public on the NASDAQ next week. And a few days ago, Coinbase gave investors a glimpse at its business in the first quarter. It reported an estimated $1.8 billion in revenue. That was almost all from trading fees, and it was more than the company made in all of last year.
Bitcoin was big at MIT. Still is.
Right, and there's a Bitcoin club, all those things. So you hear about it, you see how blockchain works, however, a distributed ledger, whatever, and you immediately were a believer.
Wait, let's be very clear. I saw how Bitcoin worked. You have to remember, there was only Bitcoin in the beginning, right? It's like the book of Genesis, there was only Bitcoin. So it was really Bitcoin at the time. And when I interacted with Bitcoin, I was like, this is ridiculous. And I've spent my career in it since then. I thought I was throwing my career away on a crazy bet. And here we are, I think the Coinbase IPO, following our own IPO at CoinShares last month, which was exciting. But this one really, valuation right now is looking not just 90 billion, which I think is the number Leslie gave. In private markets, we're looking at 147 billion right now, which makes Coinbase bigger than Goldman Sachs. That is my target for the end of this week. Let's see if they do it.
And finally, Leslie, Square, that payments company, also offers Bitcoin trading. And take a look at shares this week. It's up double digits. Analysts do expect a similar benefit for Square as Bitcoin prices doubled in the quarter.
Well, I think that cryptocurrency is going to have to be part of any 21st century experience, whether consumers shop and earn crypto back in rewards with the Gemini credit card, or they can spend cryptocurrency to buy things, or even NFTs to commemorate moments or authenticate or provenance of goods. Cryptocurrency is going to be a part of any 21st century retail and real estate experience.
Did you buy and hold, and did you buy any really early? What was the lowest price you paid for Bitcoin, Meltem?
I don't know if the IRS is watching this. I'm kidding. Look, when I got into Bitcoin, it was around $150. So I wasn't someone who was getting coins at 10 cents, but Bitcoin early on. 150.
150.
Not bad.
No,
but look, here's what's great about it to me. Bitcoin has created a lot of wealth for people who weren't part of the traditional financial system, weren't money managers. The Coinbase IPO is going to mint hundreds, if not thousands, of multimillionaires and billionaires who all love crypto and are probably going to take some of their IPO or their listing proceeds and continue to invest in the crypto ecosystem. So there's this really nice recursive effect where this industry isn't just about the assets, it's now really about the companies, which we've been investing in for almost a decade now.
Yeah, bigger than NASDAQ? I mean, Christian, you said there will be a land rush by the ETF community to own Coinbase. Will you be buying it for your block ETF? Who else will likely be owners?
Wow, it's almost as if it's gold, and if you touch it, it turns to gold, but it's actually crypto, and of course, we'll get into more of that later. Thank you, Kate.
And this is usually when it gets a little nutty.
In our loyalty program, what I envision in working with Gemini and the Winklevosses is you will earn coin. You will earn a cryptocurrency. You could use that cryptocurrency on the blockchain then to spend at our properties, check into our resort. When you live with us, pay your rent. We create this whole ecosystem because shopping is a commodity. And the only way to create value and loyalty is to overlay an experience on it and reduce friction. And that's part of the reinvention that we're going through with Gemini. And they have just been so forward thinking with our team. It's not about the next year or 5 years. It's actually about what we're looking forward to the next decade.
Why is it worth $100 billion when it's going to be a race to the bottom eventually?
Yeah, look, and here's the thing. You nailed it exactly, right? 90% of Coinbase revenue still comes from retail trading. Retail trading suffers from, a very high premium. The margin will get compressed. And here's what's so interesting, right? We're looking at one conflict here, Coinbase versus the rest of the banking and exchange ecosystem. And Coinbase obviously putting up blockbuster numbers, bigger numbers than all of the other exchanges right now. But there is pressure, even in the crypto space. There are other companies, the blue bleeding edge of innovation. Binance, for example, which is arguably Coinbase's biggest competitor, has a token on its platform that has a market cap at this moment of 88 billion, making it the third largest cryptocurrency, and has much lower fees and many more users. So again, even within the industry, the pace of innovation has just been insane to see. And what we're looking at is, are these numbers sustainable? Can Coinbase diversify quickly enough? But for this week, for this moment, I certainly think there's still a lot of enthusiasm. This business is very exciting, and just the sheer reach of the Coinbase platform and the value of the brand, I think, is a lot of what's driving this valuation premium right now.
Yeah, I expect we will, Bob. We have about 27% of Block's portfolio in the transactional infrastructure of crypto and blockchain. So these are custodians, payment facilitators, exchanges. So Coinbase should fit into that sleeve. I think Kathy Wood and the ART team will be buying this for their ETFs, probably the innovation ETF, as well as the fintech ETF. We should see IPO ETFs pick this up. So I think we could see over a dozen ETFs own Coinbase over the next, I'd say, month to 2 months.
Tyler, one of the things that has eluded me, or I have a hard time getting my head around, is if I want to use my cryptocurrency as to buy something or to redeem a reward or something like that, mightn't there be, it's an asset, mightn't there be a tax liability associated with that? And then how will you, as a platform for exchange and accounting and custodianship, how will you report that tax obligation to me at the end of the year? In other words, if I've gotten paid in Bitcoin at 50,000 and I'm spending it at 80,000, there's a tax liability there, right?
Well,
yeah, so we actually support and issue our own stablecoin. There's like a dollar. It's called the Gemini dollar. So you don't have to spend necessarily Bitcoin. You can spend dollars on the blockchain. Gemini has extensive reporting for transactions that users can download into a PDF or another file and use for their tax reporting. So we make it really easy to follow, for consumers and users to follow all of the tax situations that they need to.